From Pimblett mocking the murder of Topuria's parents, to El Matador losing interest in their potential matchup, here's the real reason Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett have beef. MMA sure knows how to brew some serious beef, and the ongoing feud between Topuria and Pimblett's got fight fans buzzing. We've seen some legendary rivalries in MMA history, like Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, or even DC versus John Jones. But the Topuria-Pimblett beef is off the charts, and that's got the combat sports community on the edge of their seats. The beef goes back to about 2 years ago, when Pimblett started taking shots at Georgian fighters online, which quickly got personal for Topuria. You see, Pimblett decided it was a great idea to make fun of the Russia-Georgian War, a conflict that tragically claimed the lives of many Georgians, including Topuria's own family members. Definitely not cool on Paddy's part. Even though Pimblett eventually apologized for his remarks, Topuria wasn't having any of it, making it clear that if he ever found himself alone in a room with Pimblett, things wouldn't end well for the Englishman. But hold on, because this drama didn't stop there. Fast forward a bit, and we find ourselves at UFC London back in March, where Pimblett and Topuria had a heated altercation at the Fighter Hotel, and it was about to get wild. In a video of the incident, you can see Topuria throw a punch at Pimblett as they pass each other, only to be quickly separated by security before things got completely out of hand. Now, you might be wondering, will this beef ever end? Well, if their recent social media exchanges are any indication, the answer's no. It all started when Topuria called Pimblett a dicksucker in Spanish, and boy did that ruffle some feathers. Pimblett didn't waste a moment firing back with a scorching reply, taking to Twitter and calling the Georgian out for being homophobic. Pimblett didn't hold back, questioning what had happened if he actually was a dicksucker, calling Topuria out for trying to get attention, and even calling him a weirdo, telling him to stick to being homophobic in his own country. But the drama didn't stop there, though. Topuria wasn't about to let Pimblett's accusations slide, firing back with his own dose of shade. Paddy the Baddy, remember, I'm your daddy. These guys are better known for letting their fists do the talking, so no wonder they sound like kids fighting at recess. These two just can't seem to stay out of each other's heads, constantly getting under each other's skin. And let me tell you, fight fans are eating it up. I'm seeing a lot of sucking allegations, but no action, and you'd think that'd be the main focus in a physical sport like this. Even after defeating Jared Gordon at UFC 282, back in December 2022, Topuria wasted no time reigniting the flames of this ongoing feud, claiming that a showdown with that Pimblett was inevitable. And that's not all, as Topuria also announced that he was aiming to set the fight at a potential UFC Spain event. It's clear that Topuria has his sights set on settling the score with Pimblett once and for all, but that still begs the question, will the two ever face each other inside the octagon? Here's the thing. Topuria has mainly fought in the featherweight division throughout his career, but he's dabbled in lightweight from time to time. With all this tension in the air, fans immediately thought that the UFC would seize the opportunity and set up a fight between these two rising stars. I mean, who wouldn't want to see them go head-to-head? Plus, the two fighters have a genuine reason to punch each other's teeth in as well, so if anything, it's a promoter's dream come true. But as Topuria continues to climb up the ranks in the featherweight division, he's making waves and solidifying his position as a serious contender. On the other hand, Pimblett's still working to earn a spot among the top-ranked fighters at lightweight, and it seems like El Matador has shifted his focus for now. But don't be fooled. Just because they might be temporarily pursuing different paths, that doesn't mean the beef's over. There's definitely no love lost between Pimblett and Topuria, and both of them are determined to prove themselves, proving their worth in their own weight classes. With all that out of the way though, who'd win in a potential matchup? First things first, let's take a look at their respective MMA careers before they entered the UFC. Both fighters had already made a name for themselves in the MMA world, but if we're talking credentials, some might say that Pimblett holds a slight edge over Topuria. After all, he was the former Cage Warriors featherweight champion, a title that carries some serious weight. Not only did the baddie win the featherweight strap, but he also defended it once. Plus, he even took a shot at the lightweight title later on in his Cage Warriors career. And hey, he's no stranger to championship gold, having also been the former full contact contender featherweight champion. The man's got some impressive achievements under his belt. As for Topuria, he has his own share of remarkable accomplishments. He was once the mixed fight events featherweight champion, showcasing his skills and dominance in the cage. But despite technically winning a bantamweight title bout in Cage Warriors, he missed weight by 4.5 pounds, which unfortunately made him ineligible to claim the belt. One thing that stands out about El Matador is his flawless record. That's right, he's never tasted defeat in his professional MMA career, not a single loss. His record currently stands at a perfect 14-0, in contrast to Pimblett's 20-3. But of course, titles don't determine the outcome of a fight, so let's take a look at their respective styles. If this fight were to happen, it would be fascinating to see how their respective styles clash. Pimblett, known for his ground game wizardry, would be looking to use his jiu-jitsu techniques to submit Topuria, who, on the other hand, with his background in Greco-Roman wrestling, would likely aim to control the fight with takedowns and ground and pound. But let's not forget that MMA's an unpredictable beast. Anything can happen inside that cage. Pimblett's jiu-jitsu expertise could lead him to secure a dominant position or catch Topuria in a submission, forcing him to tap out. But Topuria's wrestling experience, on the other hand, might help him control the fight, unleashing his ground and pound to wear down Pimblett and secure a victory. Still, predicting the winner of a fight like this is no easy task. It's all about who can execute their game plan and make the most of Theory's strengths. Both fighters have proven their skills and resilience in the past, making this hypothetical matchup an exciting prospect. But even with all the hype around this highly anticipated matchup, it looks like Topuria's officially lost interest. These two have been going at it with shots fired in interviews, social media exchanges, and even a scuffle in a hotel lobby. It's been quite the drama, which is why fight fans were shocked to hear that Topuria is calling it quits in his pursuit of a fight against Pimblett. You see, the Georgian's climbed up the UFC rankings and has now set his eyes on the featherweight title, believing that fighting Pimblett would be a step backward. He's moved on and believes he's beyond the need to face Pimblett. During a recent media day, Topuria didn't hold back in expressing his sentiments about the Brit, explaining that while Pimblett was a media sensation, he wasn't worth a dime as a fighter. He also went on to point out how the British fighter wasn't even ranked and that he hadn't accomplished anything worthwhile recently. To sum it up, Topuria doesn't believe in giving Pimblett any credibility, even though he could generate a lot of media attention with this fight. I mean, it makes sense. After 2 whole years of back and forth, it makes sense that they'd eventually lose interest in each other. So, there you have it, from Topuria losing interest in a potential matchup, to Pimblett mocking the murder of Topuria's parents. That's the real reason Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett have beef.